Welcome to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup tells a story, and every story starts with a sip. Join us on a journey of adventure, camaraderie, and of course, the finest brews, served hot and steeped in mystery. From dragons to ancient legends, we're brewing up more than just coffee. Today's tale begins at the edge of the enchanted forest, in a tavern built on dreams and roasted beans, as something stirs. It's not a ghost. It's not a goblin. It's smaller, stranger, and a lot more crinkly. Today, the pantry holds a mystery. Not of missing spoons, but of magical mischief with tiny wings and big appetites. Welcome to Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where even the spices have secrets. Now, grab your mug, settle in, and get ready for the next chapter in our brewing saga. Episode 23, Pantry Pests.
Achoo! Ugh. Again. That's the sixth sneeze since we walked in. Something's off in here. It smells like spicy betrayal.
Spicy betrayal is how I'd describe the last time you tried to pickle those ghost peppers with clove oil.
It was bold cuisine. You're all just afraid of flavor.
Did anyone else just see that? The cinnamon jar. It moved. I swear it moved.
Again? My beans are missing. Every single morning this week. I grind a fresh batch, store it properly, and poof. By sunrise, it's a coffee crime scene.
Oh. Bean thieves. Little rogues with taste. Do you think it's a raccoon? Or a sentient marshmallow?
That wasn't a raccoon. And unless your marshmallow has wings, we've got something else nesting in our pantry.
These were sealed. That bag held our best frost roast blend. This is war.
Oh, I hope it's a spice spirit. Or a tiny pantry golem. Can I keep it if it's cute?
Only if it hasn't been bathing in nutmeg dust or chewing on cursed bay leaves again.
I felt something flutter. Not wind. Not spirit. Something curious. This pantry holds more than ingredients, my friends. Something's found its way in. And it's watching.
Great. Haunted pantry. Just what I needed before breakfast.
I think the pepper just giggled.
Hidden beyond the creaky, wooden doorway of Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern's pantry is a wonder unlike any other, an unending and ever-changing labyrinth of enchanted herbs, glittering salts, and spices that hum with old magic, and today, something even stranger is afoot.
Alright, just need to get this sack of grindroot beans over to the corner. Whoa, that's lighter than I remember. Oops. Patches? Java? We got a bean breach.
That's my midnight roast. Bradicus, careful. Those beans were sun-aged under a solar eclipse.
Tea's not your fault. Look here, see these edges? Chewed. Tiny little bite marks.
The air above the spilled coffee grounds shimmered, softly at first, like heat haze in winter. Then, sparkles. Floating specks of silver and blue began to dance in the sunbeam slanting through the pantry door.
Is the air supposed to glitter like that?
Not unless I'm brewing the celestial blend, which I'm not.
You're seeing the edge of a presence. Something out of phase with this realm. Let's see who's hiding beneath the veil. Through spice and space and woven veil. Reveal the truth beyond the pale.
And then, just like fog lifting from a mirror, they appeared. Small, round, and fuzzy, with wings made of crinkled parchment and eyes far too large for their hamster-like bodies. Dozens of them. Hovering. Nibbling. Chittering.
By the fire breath forge. Look at their wings. Are those scrolls?
Parchment wings, bean-shaped bodies. They look like something a librarian would dream up after a spiced mead tasting.
They're cute. I still want them out.
Come on, Java. They're like fuzzy flying tea coasters.
As the group gawked at the creatures, one of the pests floated serenely past, holding a glowing peppercorn between its paws like a trophy.
That one. The peppercorn, it's glowing. Is that one of yours, Nyved?
Oh. That's a pyreberry peppercorn. If it eats that.
We'll need new eyebrows. And a new pantry ceiling.
It's got speed magic. That thing just bounced off 3 shelves in 2 seconds.
Enchanted spices amplify their traits temporarily, but the wrong bite could have permanent effects.
More of the little pests emerged from the high corners and spice nooks, now clearly visible. One wore saffron threads like a crown. Another had made a tiny hammock from lavender ribbons.
Can I keep one? That one over there's clearly the monarch. We can call it Crumble.
Only if you want your socks to vanish mid-walk. That one's chewing on illusion ivy.
My beans. My precious beans. They've made a nest on the top shelf. They're hoarding them like treasure.
All right, no need to panic. We've handled worse. Remember the molasses ooze incident?
This is different. These creatures slipped through the veil. If they made it in, what else might have?
One thing was clear, the pantry had visitors. Uninvited. Unruly. And a little too fond of magical snacks. The next step? Contain the chaos before the pests find the dream root, or worse, the dust of dimensional drift. Containment did not come quickly. While the crew debated names, nests, and how best to politely evict interdimensional pantry squatters, the pests had other ideas. Namely, buffet time.
That one just shot fire out of its ears. The ceiling.
That was a fire breath chili flake. Of course it combusts when you chew it.
A small, puffy creature zipped overhead, trailing smoke and char, gleefully skidding along a hanging copper ladle like it was a slide. Its parchment wings were singed on one side, but its expression? Pure joy.
Did you see that? Little fella did a barrel roll.
They're roasting my reserve beans. This is a war crime.
Oh, one's diving into the cardamom of confusion.
And just like that, reality got a bit bendy.
Oh no, this isn't good at all. My words now bounce like a bardic ball.
Salem and Veneno. What? I don't even speak Elvish.
Ugh. My beans. My poor, beloved beans. Who turned on the language machine?
Cardamom of Confusion, a rare spice band from 3 kingdoms and 2 barred colleges for this very reason. Temporary linguistic chaos, and often spontaneous poetry.
This is amazing! They're adorable and disruptive. We're keeping 1. Or 2. Or 6.
They are not pets, Nyved.
Says who? Crumble has a soul.
Meanwhile, up on the highest shelf, the situation was escalating. One of the larger pests had burrowed into Java's prized dark roast collection, its tiny cheeks bulging with espresso beans like a dragon hoarding jewels.
He's nesting. They're nesting in my nightshade blend. That's a 13 moon-aged roast from the clifftop vaults.
I'd help you now, I really would. But every line must sound like wood. Wait, no good.
I don't know what's worse, the pests or the poetry.
They were fast, they were fuzzy, and they were rapidly becoming a magical menace. Something had to be done before one of them found the really dangerous stuff, like the starlight salt, or, God's forbid, the dream root powder.
This chaos won't contain itself. It's time we work together.
They messed with the wrong monk-roasted blend. Let's trap them. Gently.
I have honey. And peppercorns. I can lure Crumble.
I'll get herbs to make them doze. Before one snorts a powdered rose.
With plants forming and spices flying, the team of unlikely tavern keepers prepared to outwit the parchment-winged pests. before they brewed up something truly irreversible. Next, a blend of bait, enchanted espresso dust, and one very enthusiastic monk. Because if the pests wouldn't leave on their own, they'd have to be charmed into jars. After chaos comes the calm, or at least the planning phase. The pests had sparked language meltdowns, minor fires, and Java's deepest roast-based sorrow. Now, the crew needed a strategy. One that didn't involve yelling. Or rhyming.
The pests are small, fast, curious, but they can be calmed. We just need the right lures and the right hands.
My hands are ready. I've ground beans smoother than silk and darker than betrayal. Let's trap these fuzzy burglars.
Each member of the tavern crew took on a task. After all, teamwork had built the place, and now it would defend it. Starting with Java.
They hoard beans like some dragons hoard gold. So I'm giving them a treasure trove.
Using cold brew concentrate aged under the last eclipse, Java created what could only be described as a caffeinated siren song. He even sprinkled it with cocoa dust. Because he's that kind of coffee dragon.
These calming herbs should lull them into sleep, or at least mellow out their hyper-hopping nonsense.
Patches bundled chamomile, silver mint, and a dash of sleepy saffron into little cloth satchels, tying each with a strand of her own whisker-strung thread. No one asked how she had it ready. Everyone wisely moved on.
Reveal the hidden. Still the wing. Net of shadow, bind, not sting.
Fate scold whispered ancient syllables only the wind understood. With a delicate hand, she sprinkled espresso dust across the pantry floor. And suddenly, invisible nets shimmered to life, glowing faintly like woven starlight.
Well now. Everyone has a plan but me. Which means, I get to improvise.
You're not improvising. You're standing in the middle of the pantry holding a bowl of beans.
I am bait.
And indeed, he was. Monk robes haphazardly tucked, beard oiled for the occasion, Bradicus Aurelius stood as a beacon of bold flavor, arms wide, heart open, bowl in hand.
This is the best day ever.
Well, it is Friday.
The trap was set. The air buzzed with spice, magic, and hope. They waited, hearts pounding, paws twitching, wings folded. One wrong move, and a pest might make it to the dust of dimensional drift. And nobody wanted to mop up that mess.
Okay. I hear chittering. Something just nibbled my bean bowl.
Not the nightshade blend. Please, not the nightshade.
One just vanished and reappeared by the star shelf.
Pests zipped and darted, drawn to the cold brew, dazed by the herbs, but not before one brave puffball, with eyes too wide for its face, dove for the forbidden stash. The dust of dimensional drift.
Nope. Not today, little fluff.
In a move part heroic, part culinary, Nyved launched a honey-glazed peppercorn from his personal pouch, straight into the air. The pest halted mid-dash. Its whiskers quivered. Its pupils dilated. Then, it dropped the drift dust and pounced the peppercorn.
There we go, crumble. That's it. Just a spicy snack and a nap burrito. Hush now.
One by one, the parchment-winged pantry pests were lulled, lured, and lovingly contained. Into enchanted glass jars they went, cushioned with linen and lined with sugar-free crumbs. Safely sealed. Gently stacked. Order, at last, was restored. But what, exactly, had drawn the creatures here? And if they could slip past the wards and into the pantry, what else might find its way in?
I'm putting a sensor on every shelf. Being powered. Enchanted. Tripwired.
Don't forget a warning sign.
Can we at least keep one?
For a brief moment, all was calm. Most of the parchment-winged pests were nestled safely in glass jars, snuggled into crumbs and sleep herbs. But one remained. The boldest of the bunch. The spark-eyed rogue. And it was heading straight for the most dangerous jar on the shelf.
Oh no! No, 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 fate! It's going for the dust of dimensional drift.
If it eats even a grain of that, we might wake up on a floating glacier. Or inside a sentient soup bowl.
Or a floating sentient soup bowl.
I don't want to nurse a tavern that's screaming for help. We have to stop it.
The pest hovered in midair, parchment leaf wings fluttering like frantic notes on a forgotten page. Its gaze locked on the jar of silvery, swirling powder. A shimmer of curiosity in its oversized eyes. A single paw reached.
Hey! You don't want that, little buddy. You want this?
From beneath his cloak, Nyved produced one last honey-glazed peppercorn. Infused with just a touch of warmth and roasted sweetness. It glowed like a tiny ember of safety.
Come now, crumble a second. Leave the world-breaking spice. Try the artisan blend.
With a delighted chirp, the tiny creature zipped past the deadly jar, nuzzled into Nyved's outstretched hands, and curled up in a little pouch lined with a tea towel. Saved. By flavor.
That was close. I was ready to wrestle space-time itself.
You're wearing slippers.
Yes. For traction.
And so, with the pantry cleared, the traps reset, and the magical herbs resorted, the crew did what they did best. Restored order, with style.
They're safe now. Wards are set. Coffee-infused perimeter, secure.
They'll be content. So long as no one feeds the magic again.
Does my artisanal honey count?
Yes.
Here. I'll put up a sign. Do not feed the pests, no matter how cute they are. Management.
The parchment-winged pests now live in a cozy enclosure behind the tavern. A tiny world of tunnels, toys, and strictly non-magical crumbs. They seem happy. Probably. And the pantry? More secure than ever.
If they found a way in, perhaps others can too. Spells fade. Walls shift. And curious things are always watching.
Thanks, fate. I was just starting to believe I can sleep again.
A quiet fell over Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern once more. But tucked into the shadows of the broom closet, one last pest spat out a peculiar seed. Ancient. Unfamiliar. Fate picked it up. Said nothing. And pocketed it. The fire is low, the mugs are empty, and tonight's tale has come to an end. But the journey is far from over. Thank you for gathering with us at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where adventure brews with every sip. Join us next time as new challenges arise, mysteries deepen, and the magic of the tavern unfolds. If you enjoyed this taste of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. We'll save a seat for you at the tavern. See you soon.
Plot holes. They lurk in the shadows of your story, waiting to derail your narrative when you least expect it. But don't worry. A Fiction Writer's Guide to Plot Holes by author Anne Snyzek is here to help. This handy guide gives you the tools you need to spot, fix, and prevent plot holes before they become a problem. Ready to keep your story airtight? Grab your copy on Amazon today.